Hey folks, welcome to Path to Recovery series. We're talking about addictions today. So in general terms, addiction is based around somebody's behavior that somewhere in their mind they believe that they need to have something to pacify something else. There's emotions behind every addiction. Why do we drink? Why do we take drugs? Why are we addicted to food? Why are we addicted to sex? There are many other addictions other than the simple ones that we always hear about on the news or on television or in movies. There's some addictions that are emotionally driven that can be just as bad to the individual as heroin or cocaine or alcohol. Some people are so addicted to communication on social media that suicide options come into their minds. The concept of bullying on social media and in school and at the workplace. There's a lot of traumatic emotions that come from those events. So it isn't necessarily the fact that we have to ingest something or put something into our bloodstream to bring us to a state that's dangerous and unhealthy. I know people who are addicted to being mothers. That means they can't seem to let go of their children and they don't want to. They tend to always be there, always on call for everybody, and possibly even to an extent that might be unhealthy for the people that are trying to live their own lives. I've seen people addicted to sports, where they're the pure definition of fanatic. The fan, where they're always dressing up, they're getting into fights, they're yelling, their behaviors at work is very all or nothing kind of behaviors. I've seen people who are addicted to food. They might not be large people. They might not be overweight. They might not be your typical idea of somebody who eats too much. They might have a metabolism that can handle the input or the intake of their calories and the fats that the foods are giving them. But they may also have this mental and emotional reaction when they put food in their body. There may be a physical issue inside their body that when the nutrients come in from food, it may affect their brain because their brain may be slightly different. There's people that are addicted to being right. I'm pretty sure I fell into that category years ago. I had to have this understanding that no matter what anyone would challenge me on, I would be right and they'd have to prove me wrong. It's a good way of creating rifts in relationships. It's a good way to lose friends. So addictions don't just come in the form of some sort of synthetic. It can be as simple as being addicted to sleeping, being addicted to not sleeping, being addicted to soda, being addicted to eggs, being addicted to a sport, being addicted to our emotions. There are some people that cannot be alone. They have this incredible feeling of lacking, that they as themselves aren't good enough, that they need to be around people. And of course, in today's society, there's insane amount of addictions to the cell phones, technologies, social media. That's a study that's been done since social media started. In fact, one of the major social media tools, they specifically designed the software so that people become addicted to it. They have certain aspects of their algorithms that will show people the things that they tend to be more interested in, so that they would be more interested in them. So it isn't an accident that the people of today are losing grips on communication skills. It isn't an accident that suicide rates are higher, that attempted suicide rates are higher, that we have more people going for treatments for depression, anxieties, stress. So ultimately, all of these addictions, any type of addiction, is created because somewhere in the belief system of each individual, they believe that there's something missing or that they have too much of something, and they need to have some other avenue to mask it, to hide from it. Think of the concept of masking just exactly as a Halloween party. You dress up to be something else so that people don't see you as who you really are. Everything that we have for an addiction is doing exactly that. If somebody's addicted to sex, there's a good chance, a very strong possibility, that they have this belief in their mind that they're not worthy of a healthy relationship. Therefore, they have to have meaningless, quick, short-term relationships to satisfy their need. Somebody that's addicted to food because when they were a child, their parents didn't have enough money or were not interested in feeding them as often as the child wanted to be fed. So the opportunity when they're an adult and having their own source of revenue, they would go and buy food, go to restaurants, and just continuously eat. There are people that are actually addicted to depression. They're addicted to feeling as if there's no other alternative other than trying to be depressed, bring themselves further into their abyss, staying in the darkness. The path to recovery is a learning and understanding of what the addiction is, what's it driven from, and to recognize that it is something that we can change. The truth of the matter, folks, is that every addict can become a former addict. The major piece to that transition isn't to jump into a course or go to meetings every week or to take an anti-drug drug. The key to it is, first, they've got to want to stop. They have to want to be done with whatever it is that they're addicted to. That want comes deep inside through their beliefs that they deserve to be healthier, clean, or sober, or not so mean, or not so depressed. They have to believe it deep in their heart that it's something they no longer want or want to be a part of. If you don't have that aching desire to stop the chaos, then there's no podcast or booklet or session or group meeting that's going to help you. Because if your belief remains that you are lacking, then there's going to be no desire to make that change. So the Path to Recovery podcast series is designed to help you understand, as long as you have that desire, there's the possibility that you can get healed and become happy, healthy, clean, and sober to whatever the addiction is. Thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from you on our future podcasts. And remember, folks, no matter how hard it looks, how hard it gets, no matter how dark it looks, how dark it appears, and how ugly it may feel, you're never alone. There's always people that have gone through your walk before. They may have done it in a different style or a different addiction. They're all different, but we all have the same desire to be loved. Thank you very much.